Hello my loves. So today is my second collaboration with the amazingly talented Black Swan Beauty. I'll link her video down below, and today's theme is pumpkins. So I am working on my flexi hand because I still have my witchy nails on, and Mr. B obviously was doing my other nails, so I didn't actually have a spare hand. So Felicia's come out to play. I think she's kind of given up the ghost. I split one of the fingers. Oh, I'm just, I need a new practice hand. I really do. So, yeah, pumpkins. Right, let's just get going with this. I'm doing a colour block. So my first the witchy one was like an easy to do one, and this is a little bit more technical. We've got colour blocking and all sorts. And my phone rang when I was doing this, and I didn't realise because it was on silent, so it cut off the recording, so I do apologise, but I will show you what I'm doing because I do the same thing on the ring finger but upside down. This colour is from Glam and Glitz, and I can't remember what it is called, so it might be Boardwalk. I think it's Boardwalk from Glam and Glitz, but I'll put it in my description box. But I'm basically, whatever's on the ring, on the index finger, is mirrored upside down on the hang on, oh my god. Whatever's on the index finger is married upside down on the ring finger. That's what I was trying to say. I thought it would be cool, so that's what I did. So I've placed the bead on, and I'm just making sure there's no liquid in my brush, and as I tap the brush against the bead and suck out a little bit of liquid, I wipe it off and just let that bead kind of dry down and mould into the shape that I want. Admittedly, I don't really like doing colour blocking with a size 12 brush. I find it myself, I feel clumsy, so I might get a size 8 for my colour blocking. I think that would be, because I can't find my 10, I don't know where it's gone, so I'm going to get a size 8 for colour blocking. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. And I've just gone in with my little 3D brush. This is my Nail Mate size 5, just to add a little bit more to this, because you need it to kind of be thick enough to file up against, but not so thick that it's going to make the nail look ugly. Do you know what I mean? I've just recorded another Halloween set today. Very, very short salon set in a realistic amount of time, done on very damaged nails with humongous cuticles. So I'm just pulling that down because it wasn't quite down to the tip. So as you see, I kind of flatten it a little bit, like drag it, and then tuck in the sides. And as I do that, it's working that bead down to the tip of the nail as it's setting. Nice and easy to do, but it just gets that bead where I want it. Okay, onto the pinky. And this is a marble. I'm using pure orange from Naio Nails and Boardwalk from Glam and Glitz, and I'm just going to marble them and then take them slightly up the side a little bit because we're going to do a marble ombre with a glitter swoosh. It's getting proper technical now, loves. So bash on those two colours. The one thing I will say, the Naio colours, you really ideally need to work super duper wet and kind of paint them on, and a lot of the time I forget and don't work wet enough with them, but I'll show you that later. But I do love this orange and purple together. That purple I have is like my fave, non-glittery. It's got a slight kind of pearlescent to it, but it's just a beautiful purple. I'll have to double check if it is called Boardwalk, so I could be sat here calling it Boardwalk and it's not. Whoops. I really think my dog just farted. Milo, was that you? Yeah, he's got that look on his face as well. So again, just swoosh it up and down. Wiggle it around. And then I'm just going to kind of edge that marble a little bit up towards where the free edge would be, if you know what I mean. Kind of if that was a client, where the edge of the natural nail would be. Like that. And then we'll leave that to set. Go back to work on my colour blocking. So I'll file them in using the 100 grit side of my Nail Mate steel file. brush it off, going with the next colour, which is pure orange from Naio. What I find with the pure orange is if I work too dry, I get little like bubbles in it and I don't realise, and then when I file there's like little potholes. It is, you know, a design paint on kind of colour, super pigmented, beautiful, beautiful shade of orange. I love orange, so I don't often wear it, but I love the colour orange. It makes me go, whoo! It's like my happy colour. I don't know why. I'm just weird. But yeah, I'm just basically colour blocking. Tapping it up like that. Keeping that nice sharp side so that you can file up against it and straighten it out. So I don't cut them. I don't cut my colour blocks with anything. I do it all with my brush and then I just quickly whiz over it with a file just to make sure. But it's generally all right. I just like to make sure it's extra crisp. I do take it over the line slightly. I kind of irritate myself when I do that because it's a bit harder to judge the thickness of your line if it's encroaching on the first part that you've already done. It's like an optical illusion. So my personal goal now is to be a bit neater with my colour blocks and not just kind of slap it on. So I'm sure I'll be saving myself a lot of a headache if I just get a bit neater. Then I'll do exactly the same thing on the other finger, just upside down, file it in, and go in with the pure orange. Okie dokie, and once that's done, I'll put those two nails aside. If only we could do that on a client. Just pop your finger to the side, please. I'm going to do the ombre on here. I'm using Toasted Rose from Nailmate. Place that bead on, just tuck that back edge in and then feather it down the nail. Nice and gently, easy peasy. My bead did wander a bit, but it was quite cold, so that was kind of like I should have compensated by making it a little bit drier. Smooth that bead out and then we'll go in with my cuticle bead. I'm just tucking my brush up there. It's the only bugger to use in sort of practice hands is I feel like their side walls are weird. Does anyone else feel like that? Maybe it's just me. So I'm getting that second bead on there, place it on at the cuticle. Tuck it in with the very tip of my brush, very light movements, look, hardly any pressure, and then just feather the front edge of that bead down the nail. There you go. Beautiful. And I'm just using little tapping motions just to make sure that as that bead sets, it's exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to go in with this amazing glitter mix, which I used last year from Smileys. I think it's called Funky Witch or Funky Halloween. I will put it in the description box. It's stunning. It's got holographic moons, stars, tinsel, matte orange, purple. Oh, it's just friggin' gorgeous. This glitter was on the very set that started my Instagram growth. And I can pinpoint it to one set because this time last year, I had less than 400 followers on Instagram and I now have over 46,000. And this was the glitter that was in the Halloween set last October that suddenly just spiked all this interest and got like 100,000 views, 150,000 views or whatever. And that's how it started, just with a funky Halloween set. And then after that, lots of bloody hard work. Anyway, onto the index finger. So I'm going in with Glitterbells Carbon Black and my size 5 brush because there's a bit of my red hair poking in the way. Do apologise. I kind of felt like, right, now this black is super pigmented and I don't feel comfortable colour blocking with a size 12 brush. I need to get myself an 8 and I was getting a bit like, ugh, by this time doing it. So I thought it's a lot easier if I just get my detailer brush, not detailer brush, my 3D brush, and do it that way. And it was all right. I mean, obviously you've got to pick up more beads. It would be better if I had the right brush for the job, but I don't because I am ridiculously disorganised. That's me, that I'm scatty. I try my best to be organised, but I have a lot of other people to organise around me. And I tend to organise them better than I organise myself. But you get the gist of what I'm doing. I'm just doing exactly the same, but with the black. And then as before, doing exactly the same on this nail. I kind of like the colour block this way around better. You'll see it in the final result, but I think I prefer it this way around. It's very, very pretty. So once that's set, we go back to the index finger, give it a file, tap in it to check it's set. It will make that tick, tick, tick noise. Give that a file. As you do, brush it off. And we're going in with Toasted Rose. I picked up a slightly drier bead this time because it's just so cold in the salon And I knew that otherwise it would just wander everywhere. And that was a lot easier to control. So I'll work this bead down the nail, and then I'll go in at the sides of the colour block. Doesn't really matter if I smoosh over it because I've got to file it all in anyway. Just don't want to make that nail super duper thick. So I'll go in with a bead at either side. Then exactly the same on the ring finger. Next we need to cap this glitter swooshy marble ombre nail. It's a rather large title, so I'm just placing on a bead of crystal clear. Tuck those edges in and then work that bead down the nail. I can actually hear my dog's tummy like gurgling because he's just had his dinner. Such a weird noise. So I'll add another bead towards the tip and blend that back up. Just to make sure it's all nicely encapsulated. You know the rule with glitter, if it ain't matte, it ain't capped. So check that your glitter has changed. It won't have that shine and that beautiful luster to it. It will just kind of look matte and just dull. And that's when you know that it is encapsulated, because you've got to file that nail, and the last thing you want to do is file into your glitter, because you will lose the colour and the sharpness of it, and it will just kind of look like a bit of mashed up foil stuck on the nail. Right, let's file off this colour block and see what it looks like then. Let's get in there. The bit and e-file that I'm using are all available on Amazon. I have a link to my kind of Amazon affiliate page where it displays. I've put all the products that I buy from Amazon, basically. Anything that I buy from Amazon or have previously been sent and really like that are through Amazon. That's what's on there. Oh, and Felicia's losing her fingernail. God, can you imagine if that happened to a client? If you were just filing Mrs. Jones's nail and it just kind of like fell out of the nail bed. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Blech. So I'm refining. I took the bulk off with the e-file, but I'm refining with the hand file. Give it a brush, see where I'm at. Go back in. Just keep doing that until I'm happy. Then we should do exactly the same on the other nail. Get that e-file, reveal that colour block. It's Sunday evening, I'll get my words out eventually. We shall reveal the colour block. And then just refine it with a hand file. Next is my fun nail. I've never done anything like this before. It's a pumpkin nail because obviously this set is about pumpkins. So I'm using Glitterbells Carbon Black to create the eyes of the pumpkin. Then I'll go in and give him a cute little nose. I'm working really dry with this because carbon black is one of those colours that is really good painted on. But actually, I found it really easy to do kind of like 3D work with. It's quite a solid black and it doesn't take too long to set either, which is great. So, yeah, I'm going to create his nose. I'm using the size 5 nail make brush again. Then I kind of attempted to do like a slanty smile, almost like a sinister, slanty, weirdo smile. That was what was in my head. Not so much on the nail, but you know, you kind of get what I mean. Then I felt like he didn't really look very evil, so he needed pointy eyebrows. So I gave him pointy eyebrows. And once these little black areas were dry, I went in with pure orange from Naio, and this is where I worked with it a little bit too dry. And I'm going to create a pumpkin shape over the top of, what should we call him? Fred. Over the top of Fred's face. So I'm just adding a bit more monomer to that bead. So I'm creating kind of like, almost like a cuff nail here with the top of the bead of orange. And I'm just going to work it over the top of Fred's face. I feel like he needs a name. I feel weird referring to him as the pumpkin. It just feels impersonal, and he might have feelings. I don't know. I haven't asked him. I don't speak pumpkin. But I'm assuming he does have... Pumpkins have feelings too, people. So I was actually editing a minute ago, and I thought that looks like quite a cool mouth. I should have used that shape, that gap there as a mouth, but I didn't. So going in again and just bringing that bead down to make Fred's bottom area, base of the pumpkin thing. I know what I mean. And then I'll just use my brush to sort of tap that base into place and get a little wall. I didn't file in this bit of like wall or anything like that. I just let it dry. Because it was alright, didn't need a file, really. Could have done, I suppose, but didn't feel like it needed it. But I do go over Fred's face again, just to make sure I've got good coverage over his entire face. I didn't want to over-file it at the end and then lose part of the design, so I've gone over again, just making sure that I'm covering all the bits, all the areas that I need covered. Everything's got a nice thick layer of the orange. Told you it's a beautiful orange. I just heard Milo's tummy go again. I bet he's going to have gas all evening now. Anyone want a smelly dog? Right, so I'll let that set up. So So once that orange has set, I'm then going in with, oh my God, I think it's like rainforest green or forest green from Naio. I will put the name in the description box. Beautiful green colour, really love it. So I'm going in with this around the cuticle area. It doesn't matter if I go over the orange, it's all going to be filed in. I'd rather go over it and have enough coverage and enough kind of shape built up. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom of the nail where the base of Fred is. Fred the pumpkin. Again, it does go a little bit chalky if you work too dry with it, but I needed it a bit drier because of what I'm doing. Normally I'd just paint it on, but yeah. And then I just made sure I built that up a little bit more because, again, I don't want to overfile it at the end and end up with Fred having bald spots because I don't think he'd appreciate that. You know what I mean? Right, so let him dry, and then I love this bit. I'm using the Nail Mate like 4 times extra coarse bit, and I've got the links for Nail Mate and all that malarkey. Everything's in my description box, so always check it out. I'm going to very gently start revealing this design. I didn't have it on full power. I love the way this turned out. I know it doesn't look like super fancy, but I just think it's really cool. And it's something that is achievable in a salon situation as well. Look at that. Look at his face. There's Fred. I love these sort of file reveal videos. Oh, I love them. They're so satisfying to watch. Okie dokie. Sorry if you can hear the kids, they're playing. So that's that done. We'll give them a quick hand file, and then I did go back over with some really wet orange because I noticed a few of those little dimples I was telling you about because I worked quite dry with it. Once that little thin layer of orange is just, I'm just going to buff over it quickly. It's fine. I just wanted to cover up a couple of dimples. Give it a brush. And we're going to go in with crystal clear and just do a nice thin layer just to cap that design in. Then literally just tidy up the edges and buff over it. I didn't really need to file any shape because it was just a thin layer. It was fine. Absolutely fine. And the thing is, look, I know that realistically pumpkins don't have bling, but this one does. So I'm adding, these are crystal clear shimmer Swarovskis from Angel Crystals, obviously. My Angel Crystals tool that Andrew fucking bent the other day. Look at that shimmer. Stunning. I love these. They're like gold and aqua. Stunning. Yes. Okay, and then do the same, but obviously opposite on this finger, which I just love. I love that opposites malarkey. And then my pumpkin's going to have a crystal crown, and I don't care what anyone says. My pumpkin does not have a manky green stalk. He has a crystal crown because he is a king. Yes. Or maybe he's a queen. Who cares? There you go, Milo. He is strutting his stuff on the pumpkin catwalk. Woohoo, look at him. He's so sparkly. Right, now to top coat. I'm using Nail Mate Super Gloss, which I need to get some more of. I am always trying different top coats as well. I'm just a bit of a product whore. I need to stop. I just love all different products. I love trying stuff. I'm like, ooh, shiny. The only thing I won't change is like my crystals for sure, my brushes, and quite often my core system will stay the same, or I'll work off 2 main core systems, but I'll have loads of different colours from loads of different places. Let's give Fred a top coat with his beautiful crystal crown. Doesn't he look cute? I just think it's a cool way. Yes, I could have painted an orange pumpkin on my nails with black, but I just thought it was a really cool way of doing it differently. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll top coat this nail. All my nails will have 60 seconds in my LED lamp. I haven't filmed top coating the little nail, I don't know why. But anyway, here's the final reveal. I hope you like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Tally bye!